I recently saw a video by Marcus Pix, and he was reviewing geared tripod heads. And the timing on it, as it turns out, was just perfect because I had some projects coming up where I could really use one of those. And so thanks to Marcus, I was able to zero in on a couple of ones that were in my price range that I thought looked promising. The first one is the Benro GD3WH, and then the other one is the Vertecfoto geared tripod head. You can see some good reviews, especially about the Benro online. So I don't want to do a review here, but I just want to instead show you some of the good points and the bad points about each one of these. I wanted to do this just for myself so I could decide which one to keep. I like the Vertecfoto GH Pro 2S with the crank adjustments on it. It's a smaller size one too. But the knobs adjust horizon leveling and up and down. But I find I don't need the horizon fine adjustment that much. I just use the side to side and up and down adjustments to frame my subject. So that left me with the Vertecfoto with the fine adjustments on both the vertical and the horizontal. And the knobs are smooth and easy to turn, and it's lightweight. I ran into two issues though. The first is with the horizon adjustment, I found the head doesn't always go completely flat. The leveling line on my GH6 sometimes shows that it's a little bit off of level. The second issue is that there's a little bit of drift when you make your fine adjustments. So I decided to order a Benro since that seems to be so popular in a lot of YouTube videos, even though Marcus didn't like the way the knobby things on the release for the fast movement kind of dug into your fingers a little bit. But after I got the Benro, I found out that Marcus was exactly right. After using that quick release knob for the large movements, it did start to dig into my fingers quite a bit, and my fingers got really sore. I was hoping maybe I wouldn't get the drift as much though, but unfortunately it also did drift when making the vertical and horizontal adjustments. It does have the fine adjustment knob for the horizon leveling, but I find I just don't use that, and it's just an extra knob that's in the way. So now I actually prefer the Vertecfoto over the Benro. The drifting is not quite as bad, and I think it's something I'll get used to as I use it more and more. As for the slightly out of level issue, I just grabbed one of my newer leveling fittings that I use for my portable video tripod setup. And I can use that to do a fine adjustment on the leveling if I need to. Also on the Benro, you have to loosen for the horizontal movements, then adjust it, and then loosen for the vertical movements, then adjust it. You can't adjust both at the same time like you can on the Vertecfoto. This makes setup a little slower on the Benro because on the Vertecfoto you can loosen both the vertical and the horizontal at the same time and move the camera wherever you want to, then tighten them down and use the knobs for the fine adjustments. I also find the knob placements a little closer together and more convenient on the Vertecfoto than on the Benro. And they are smoother and easier to turn on the Vertecfoto. I also prefer the small size and the price on the Vertecfoto over the Benro. I even tried the Vertecfoto with my larger Micro Four Thirds 100 to 400 lens on my GH6. Yeah, this combination weighs about 4 pounds and it still worked just fine. Now I'm going to do a little test by finding a spot to frame with each head and see how long it takes for each one. So this shows you how I'm going to set up my area to locate where the square bracket is on here, and it lines up, the corner of it lines up with the corner of the frame. Right here is what I'm going to shoot for. This way and this way. So in this test, the Vertecfoto head did finish first over the Benro, but I think I fiddled with it a little longer than I needed to, because in other tests I've done, it was quite a bit faster. So this little guy, I think, is the one I'm keeping, and I've already sent back the Benro. So yeah, I think it'll always be faster to work with, because you can loosen both vertical and horizontal adjustments and then just move the camera wherever you want, you know, instead of one axis at a time with the little knobs that dig into your fingers. So this is much easier to use, lighter to use, and faster to use. So hope you enjoyed this video.